Welcome back to Fur Baby Friday. I'm here with Morgan May from the Humane Society of Eastern Carolina, and today she's brought a special guest. And who is this, Morgan?
This very special and pretty big boy is Ringo. Come here, Ringo.
Ringo's a beautiful, beautiful dog. What is he?
He is a pit bulldog, we don't really know, mix. He came into the facility with a litter of puppies as the Beatles litter. He was adopted shortly after that, and unfortunately, due to no fault of his own, was not a good fit for the home. They weren't prepared for a big puppy, and he's almost 2 years old. He's about 1 year and 8 months, and he's just looking for a forever home that can appreciate his big puppy energy.
Yeah, so kind of dive into that. He has a lot of energy, so he would be great for somebody that has maybe a really big yard, maybe has some kids.
Yes, Ringo is a pretty active guy, and bringing in a shelter environment isn't the best for him because he is a high energy dog, but just in a home where he could get that energy out. He loves to play fetch, so if you have a yard that he could play fetch in, or if you're a runner, he actually does really well on a leash when he goes out, and he's really smart. He's a big goofball, but he's also very smart. He knows sit, he's working on down and a few other commands, but he's really just a big lovable guy that just needs someone to get that little bit of energy out.
Yeah, it seems like, with the weather warming up, stuff like that, maybe kind of talk to some folks about, maybe the best times to take their dogs out. When should they do that, and kind of maybe later in the evening too?
Yeah, so the best times to take your dogs out when it's this hot, Ringo can definitely vouch for it as he's not a huge fan of how hot it gets, are early in the mornings or later in the evenings. There's also what we do with the facility, and Ringo loves this, is we have a kiddie pool in our backyards. So in the afternoons when it is a little bit warmer, we don't let them out for super long, and they're supervised so we can make sure they don't get too hot, and they have a nice cool kiddie pool in the shade that they can splash around in, and Ringo actually loves to splash around in the kiddie pool.
That's fantastic. So how long has Ringo been with you guys so far?
So since Ringo came back into our care, he's been with us for about 6 months, and unfortunately he hasn't had very much interest just due to his size, and he's a big puppy. It's a little intimidating to some people, but he really is just all love.
Right, yeah. Is he good with other dogs, and so that you've seen?
So what we've seen, Ringo does well with other high energy, rambunctious big dogs, but being that he needs a specific dog in the home, he may do best as an only dog. He has not been cat tested yet, but he's a pretty big, loving goofball.
He just wants all the attention.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much.
He's just soaking here looking at all this as well. And something we talked about, how taking the dogs, but again, their paws are so sensitive because people may not kind of get a little more information about how they can kind of protect their paws as well.
Yeah, so when you go out on the pavement, especially paying attention, we know that black pavement absorbs more heat and gets a lot hotter. You can put the back of your palm down on the sidewalk, and if it feels too warm for you to touch, you wouldn't leave your hand down there for 30 seconds or a minute, then it is too hot for your dog. So there are things that you can do about that. You can walk on the grass, or lighter colored pavement tends to not be as hot. Or there's also paw pads, things that you can get, little booties for your dogs. Or if it's somewhere just outside of your house or apartment, you can also spray it with water really quick, get it cool, but be aware that that does heat up pretty fast again.
Yeah. There you go.
Right, yeah. Well, if anybody's interested in meeting Ringo, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, if you're interested in meeting Ringo, you'll fill out an adoption application on our website, www.hsecarolina.org. Send that in and we'll contact you about setting up an appointment. He's also in the facility, so if you just want to hang out with him, sign up to volunteer and you could take this man on a walk.
Fantastic. Alrighty, well, thank you, Morgan, and thank you, Ringo. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll have more ENC at 3 right after the break.